Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into stories from the Bible, making them real and relatable for today. You know, sometimes in life things get so confusing, so loud, that we just need a moment of absolute clarity, a sign from above. And that's exactly what happened on a day when fire fell from the sky. And everyone just went silent. Imagine, if you will, a land parched and cracked. Not just from lack of rain, but from a spiritual drought that ran even deeper. For 3 long years, the skies had been shut tight. No dew, no rain. A powerful silence from the heavens that mirrored the silence of God in the hearts of his people. They were caught between 2 worlds, worshipping the one true God, and dabbling with the popular flashy god of the moment, Baal. King Ahab and his wife Jezebel had really pushed Baal worship, and it was everywhere. But then a voice broke through the desolation. A prophet named Elijah, a man rugged and bold, appeared from nowhere with a message of hope and challenge. He called all of Israel, along with 450 prophets of Baal and 400 prophets of Asherah, to Mount Carmel. It was time for a showdown. Elijah stood before them all, his gaze sweeping over the hesitant crowd. "How long will you waver between 2 opinions?" he challenged. "If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him." The people truly didn't know what to say. Their silence was heavy with indecision. Elijah then laid out a plan. 2 altars, 2 bulls. The prophets of Baal would go first. They would call on their God, and whichever deity answered with fire, that one would be acknowledged as the true God. Simple enough, right? So the prophets of Baal began their ritual. From morning till noon they cried out, "O Baal, answer us!" They danced around their altar, grew louder, more frantic. But there was no voice, no answer, no fire. Elijah, ever the sharp-witted prophet, couldn't resist a little sarcasm. "Shout louder!" he mocked, with a dry wit that probably made some squirm. Surely he is a god. Perhaps he is deep in thought, or busy, or traveling. Maybe he's sleeping and must be awakened. This only fueled their desperation. They cried louder, and in their frenzy they cut themselves with swords and spears, as was their custom, until blood flowed. But still nothing. The sun began to dip, casting long shadows across the mountain, and their God remained silent. Then it was Elijah's turn. He called the people closer. "Come near to me," he said, and there was a quiet confidence in his voice. He rebuilt the ancient altar of the Lord that had been torn down. He placed the wood, then the cut-up bull. Then he did something utterly unexpected, something that seemed to defy logic in a land desperate for water. He had them pour 4 large jars of water over the sacrifice, not just once, but 3 times. The water drenched the offering and filled the trench he'd dug around the altar. It was a move that screamed, "No tricks here, no hidden fires." Then Elijah stepped forward and simply prayed. His prayer wasn't long or loud, but direct and heartfelt. "Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant and have done all these things at your command. Answer me, Lord, answer me, so these people will know that you, Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again." And just like that, without a moment's hesitation, fire from the Lord fell. It didn't just consume the sacrifice and the wood. It licked up the stones, the soil, and even the water in the trench. Everything gone in an instant. The people, who had been holding their breath, witnessing this impossible spectacle, fell silent. An absolute profound silence washed over Mount Carmel. Then, as the smoke cleared and the reality of what they'd seen sank in, their silence broke with a roar. They fell to the ground, crying out, "The Lord, he is God! The Lord, he is God!" There was no more wavering. The choice was clear, and the story doesn't end there. After the hearts of the people were turned back, Elijah told King Ahab to go eat and drink, for he heard the sound of a heavy rain. And sure enough, tiny cloud, no bigger than a man's hand, appeared on the horizon, quickly grew, and unleashed a mighty downpour, ending the drought. It was a complete restoration, both spiritually and physically. This story reminds us that sometimes, in the loudest, most confusing moments of life, All it takes is a clear, undeniable truth to cut through the noise. It's about choosing to stand firm, trusting in the God who truly answers, often in ways that leave us absolutely speechless. May we always have hearts ready to see his fire, and voices ready to declare, "The Lord, he is God." Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share.